This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, Season 2 of Broom Closet Recordings, Healing the Patriarchy-within, in the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos, confusion, love, and belonging. I am Diedra, your sometimes reluctant but always growing guide. In this season, I'll be sharing channeled and conjured episodes related to healing the patriarchy within. There's a link in the description to the digital book titled the same. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like. This will help me grow the channel and therefore grow my ability to continue these offerings with dedicated focus. I deeply appreciate you being here.
I am recording this on the day of all ironies, July 4th, here in the United States. And so you may hear the yahoos in my neighborhood playing with fireworks in the background. Hopefully it will not be too distracting, but perfection is a lie and reality is reality. I've been sitting with the ongoing related messages that have been coming in from my collective insight sessions, as well as Broom Closet recordings and my own individual sits with myself, with my ancestors, with my spirit guides. And the consistent message has been about this idea of we have entered a moment to be a watcher, to pay attention to what is happening in your inner realm, to bear witness to your world quietly, with intention. A couple days ago, I was sitting and asking my guides, out of curiosity, what more would they be willing to share about this time and this suggestion to really go inward. And again, I think in one of those messages I clarified, because things are becoming really clear for me as well, of who I am making offerings to out there in the world. And I want to be clear that I am talking about the folks who have heard the call and have answered the call. These messages that are coming in are very specific to that reality, that soul's journey. And I'm going to make an offering around that a little more, but in a different recording, because I've been downloading quite a bit to further clarify this idea of rooted cosmic soul, not just the channel, but why Spirit even gave me that as the name for this channel. But I'm going off on a tangent. Let me come back to when I sat with my higher self, with my spirit guides, with my ancestors, and in curiosity asked for more about this idea of that inward gaze, this moment of suggestion that the action we take right now is to pause. And in that pause, it wasn't the offering that was made to me was that it's not so much a pause of inactivity. It is a pause from allowing certain energy to be removed from your eye and put into the world. The deeper point was that with intention, our focal point be turned inward. And the additional offering that was made to me in understanding why is that we are in a moment of shift. We are in a paradigm shift. We are in the timeline shift, in the collapsing of structures, the dissolving of what was. And it is it can be helpful. It is supportive for those on that rooted cosmic soul journey here on Earth in this time to turn the gaze inward, because in turning the gaze inward, it can allow insight into that which you are seeking to heal at a much deeper level, because we've reached a point where the path to be taken is about the healing human seeking to bring balance to the experience of the unbalanced, right? That's the healing the patriarchy within, to release those bonds, those binds that cause imbalance. That inward gaze allows, especially in this time, space is being made with a lot of energy from our ancestors, from the divine feminine, from the divine masculine, with great amount of divine love to hold space for each of us to be with ourselves, and in so sitting with those most weighted parts, those parts that are full of fear of what is to come, or self-doubt of what uh, our role might be in this soul's journey. And in particular around self-doubt is the idea of, by turning inward with a great deal of divine love, it is not to banish or to vilify the self-doubt or the weighted emotions or feelings you might be experiencing. Instead, it is to notice them, to hold them with regard and remembering, and to make the choice of what to do with that self-doubt, because that doubt is part of the embodiment, the human embodiment experience that we wanted to have here. The shift that is happening is that instead of a power over model using that self-doubt to power over us, to oppress, suppress, and control us, the idea of coming into a balance is noticing that doubt and responding from a balanced position. That balanced position, Spirit made it really clear that in terms of what we're used to in this current moment in time, is to really think about it in terms of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. So I want to clarify that I use interchangeably divine and sacred. That might be confusing, and I apologize if that is confusing. I do prefer sacred, the word sacred, but sometimes I lapse into divine. But no, I'm speaking about the same thing. And so making this space right now, the holding patience with the self, intentionally stepping into self-love and creating moment of respite, so that through that patience and that respite, you have content to reflect upon around the idea of bringing in balance between your sacred feminine and your sacred masculine energies. If you don't like those words, you can also think of it as yin and yang, being a balance of the two. And in order to seek that balance, there was an inward gaze that has to happen around the lens of the self that supports self-doubt, weighted emotions that are not being processed, lack of value, lack of self-worth, unprocessed grief, inability to forgive, like these things that are keeping the experience of the human embodiment to be balanced. And the suggestion that I was given, the way to do that is to step into this idea of tell the truth. Start thinking about, what does it look like, and start with the self. What does it look like to be in conversation with myself, that inner dialogue during this pause where I am telling radical, truth to myself. And while doing that, I'm leaning into divine love. I'm leaning into oneness, my divinity, my understanding that I am whole, regardless of where my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings are situated. Now, the idea is that wherever they take me, I am engaging that to be in conversation about what does it look like to respond in a balanced way. What does it look like to flow orderly, right? What does it look like to be rationally emotional? What does it look like to remember that to do nothing is to do something? The other offering that I was given was to lean into your intuition. I was shown the high priestess, and to remember that the answer is within you. It is within you. It is already there. And that's part of the pause that was offered, this space to go inward, to remember the path you came here to engage, even in the face of the disorder, the unbalance that we are experiencing, the forgetting that many of us experience here in this dense reality. When remembering that you are the high priestess, right? Regardless of how you identify gender wise, whether male, female, non binary, something in between, we all have the capacity to embody the high priestess. And it is about connecting fully and completely with the power of your intuition at power within you. And it was offered in this really beautiful way of both from the sacred feminine to flow in the gift of your emotions. When your emotions come in, deepen your connection to those emotions, to understanding that they are there. They're like light codes. You see all this stuff on YouTube about, um, hidden codes, light codes. Are you a Lumerian starseed? Are you this, that, or the other? You don't have to be actively channeling or be a medium to have access to codes about who you are. You get them every time you have an emotion. And the idea is to deepen your connection to that emotion, because in deepening that connection and better understanding what the message is from the emotion your embodiment is offering you, gives you the opportunity to connect more with yourself, with others, with ancestors, and to really flow into that. It came under that message of flow in the gift of emotions, came from within the elemental energy of water. And then, as yin and yang is, the balance to that, the message was from the sacred masculine, was to ignite your desire to be curious. So release defensive thoughts, that when the emotion of defensiveness comes up, to confront it and to release it and transmute it into curiosity. Be curious about what is occurring. And if it's helpful, like ignite that desire. It came in under the elemental energy of fire to burn away defensive thoughts that's the self-doubt, right? That's the weighted thoughts of not being enough, of needing to prove oneself, of seeking perfection. Release those defensive thoughts, burn them away, and be curious about who you are, about the emotions that are coming up, and to just ask the question of, what is this grief, joy, laughter, sorrow, jealousy, insecurity? Name your emotion or feeling here. What is it attempting to tell me about my journey in this moment? And to reflect on that with divine love, because you are worthy, perfect, and whole, exactly as you are and exactly as you are not. The overarching message to me was around presence. Cultivate presence in you because you are worthy for that. And also, that's what you came here for the awakening, ascending, healing healer, generational transmuter, spiritual shapeshifter, the hidden witches and warlocks of this time. We came here for this moment. The answer is within you. Flow in the gift of your emotions. Ignite the desire to be curious. Tell yourself the truth, and in so doing, you will cultivate balance. Sending so much love, compassion, grace, clarity out into the world. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude.
This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, Season 2, Healing the Patriarchy-within, a Broom Closet recording, offered with infinite love and gratitude. Thank you for watching, listening, co-creating the energy necessary for this time and space to exist. My energy stays here, your energy stays there. Return when your spirit moves you to do so. Same Bruja time, same Bruja channel. Hey there. If you liked this content, please check out my new book called Healing the Patriarchy-within. It's a detailed process guide designed to help folks find, explore, understand the definitions, beliefs, and behaviors that are inside of us as individuals, because some of them are the same between us and some of them are different. But those definitions, beliefs, and behaviors that are complicit with, that uphold the patriarchy. And it's a process guide to help see, sense, and shift those with a lot of compassion, grace, and love. Having patriarchy within doesn't matter about your gender, your class, your race. It's in all of us because of the wide existence of the patriarchy globally and for multiple millennia. And this process guide offers 22 very specific interweaving intersectional journeys to explore that from your eye, sprinkled with 24 different sacred feminine goddesses, energies, guides to support you as you're healing the patriarchy within. And then more than 44 different individual prompts, portals, activations, activities to further deepen your understanding of where the eye is and how to engage in a healing process. So please check that out if you are so inclined. There's a link in the description, always in all my videos. And also you can go directly to my website, diedrabarber.com. Thanks again. Also consider subscribing, liking, sharing whenever you find content on my channel that you've enjoyed. It's a beautiful way to support creators of free content and to help build my channel and get me out of the hidden realms of YouTube, because my content is that which is not meant to be brought to light, but you can help be one of those who help shine light on it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude.